Hey everybody, Rodman here. Thanks for tuning in to Mercury Fallen Episode 3. So last episode, we started to build an operations center, but I'm actually going to pivot, and I'll explain why. I am running pretty low on my hematite supply. So if I take a look at my metals here, I don't have a lot of titanium or steel, and I definitely don't have a lot of hematite. And I'm a little worried about not having enough materials in order to do what I need to do. So what I really want to do is to push towards robot deep drilling. So if you open the tech tree here, I'm going to unlock basic robotics. And what I want to do is to make a robot assembler. And I'll put the robot assembler down here. And to make this a high priority, this requires 25 steel, which is pretty costly. And then once we have the robot assembler, I'm going to want to also build a deep drill robot. So all this like hematite that you see that's in the ground here, you can only utilize it once you have a deep driller. So I would say deep drilling is my top priority. So what I'm going to do right now is to try to focus on getting a deep drill robot as soon as I can, meaning using all of the steel in my colony that I have right now and utilizing it towards building a robot assembler and building a deep driller. So here's a tech chest that I just popped open. Ooh. It has an advanced inlet valve. That's pretty useful. It also has fasteners, which is going to be very, very useful as well. It also looks as if my storage is filling up. So take a look at storage. Let's add some additional storage in this hallway. And I'm going to fast forward time. So one way to try to find hematite, or really any resource, is to mine out sort of long tunnels like this. No real need to do 2 wide over 1 wide, but 2 wide's just fine. To try to explore the surroundings and try to find resources that you are lacking in. I'm also adding another coal generator because I am maxed out. I have no more capacity for coal. So I'm breaking down these operation floorboards because they do use up steel. And I know that right now I'm going to be very much bottlenecked on my steel. So the coal generator will be first, and that will allow me to then power on my water pump and power up the cooking station again. I've added a lot of stuff, but haven't increased the power capacity that I have, so I need to do that. And I am hoping to find some additional hematite nodes that I can use around the base. All right, so there's a minerals chest here. This has some steel and some copper and iron and gold. That's also very, very useful. It also has colonist logs, so log 22 and 42 alike. Oh, there's a thermal vent here. That could come in handy later on. The thermal vents, there's a research up here which allows you to generate power that doesn't require fuel. That will be something I'll want. All right, so in the recipes here, now that I have robot assembly researched, I want to research deep driller, which allows you to mine out the floors. So the walls here, as you can see, have like 10 resources each. These floor tiles have 50. So I am a little bit starved for hematite, but if I could get a deep driller ASAP, I can start utilizing the floor tiles. Electronics and fasteners and a improved inlet. Nice. So the inlet here, I'm going to destroy for this improved advanced inlet, which really reduces the water consumption. And then all of my high power consumption equipment that I've got going on, I can start to give... actually, no, forget that. I can start to reduce the amount of power it requires by installing mods. All right, so we have the robot assembler, and the next thing I want to do is to build a deep drill. So there's two types. There's a worker bot and a deep drill bot. I want a deep drill bot, which means 65 electronics, 65 fasteners, 65 bioplastics. So let's go to my electronics here. I am going to... Here is the electronics. We'll craft if below 65. This requires copper and bioplastic. And then here's my fasteners. I'm going to craft if below 65. This requires resin and steel. So steel is really very much a bottleneck. And then the last thing is the bioplastics, which is over here. We'll get those up to 65, which require hemp, which means I might need to grow some additional hemp. All right, so we have a second coal generator, and I don't believe I added in the power underneath it to wire it up. I did not. And then also we might be able to, mod that up with a advanced power coil, improved power coil. All right, so once that power conduit's done, we should be able to power everything back on. Everything in our base, which is pretty important. Oh, so here's some hematite that I found through the mining search. And that is exactly what I'm going to do. I'm just going to do some search tunnels all around the map. To try to find hematite so that I don't, that my progress in this game doesn't stagnate. I just got enough research for vehicle construction. That's for external exploration of the map. So we have all of the electronics necessary. We just need the fasteners. Taking a look at my fastener amount, 59. That's pretty close to 65. We're pretty close to having the necessary materials to make a deep drill, which is very important at this point because we won't really be able to progress until I secure a better supply of iron. I'm just having these like fade. These storage containers were topping up. All right, with the additional coal generator online and powered, we are able to supply power to all of the necessary parts of the base that weren't previously getting it. I'm also going to install mods in all of my stations. That actually does use, installing mods do use iron, so you know what? I'm going to stop that for now. I don't want to make 2 more of those mods using my precious iron and steel, because we are so bottlenecked. Fasteners. All right, let's just hide categories. Fasteners were up to 61. I'll keep looking around to see if I could find any steel. Additionally, it's possible to find... Oh, here is a inactive robot. So this robot I'm going to turn into a mining robot, and then a building robot, or a hauler, and then a builder. I'm not going to yet assign equipment to it, so I don't manufacture new equipment. And we get some fasteners and steel out of this tech chest, which is phenomenal. That's going to allow us to make the deep driller sooner. So at this point, we're just waiting on the bioplastics. We have 29 out of the 65 that we need, but we have all the fasteners, which is fantastic. Having all the fasteners means that we will have the ability to, we're not going to be iron starved, which is very, very good. That was actually a worry of mine. And the additional driller that I just brought back online, the additional robot, will definitely be instrumental in helping to expand our resource tunnels. With any luck, we'll find some more iron. Let's put... So 80 electronics and fasteners. At this point, I'm going to scroll back down and bring the fasteners down to like 15. And the electronics down to 15. So we have more than we need now for the deep drill. We just need the bioplastics. And the bioplastics are just waiting on hemp. And the hemp is waiting on my farm fields. Chucky Chuck. You don't have anything to work on. That's fine. I don't actually mind someone being idle. Except for he's not really de-stressing here. What I think I need to do is to have a dedicated recreation room. So let's go ahead and do that. That's probably one of the reasons I have high stress. And this isn't really going to use resources that we need elsewhere. So I'm going to blow up this wall and have a rec room attached to this. Actually, you know what? Forget that wall. I want to keep that wall. Because we're going to put a bed there eventually. So let's get... Where can a rec room be? A rec room could be over here, I guess. I'm trying to place it where we're not going to build on top of deep mining nodes. Okay. So floors, we will add a recreation room here, and this should help with the stress that we have built up in the colony. None of this requires steel, so that's not a problem. Oh, another minerals chest. Nice. And periodically just check all of your mining to make sure that there are no more chests revealed. Oh, there's some hematite. There's 12 hematite in that section. Looks like we're about to get a hemp harvest, which will allow us to have hopefully the necessary bioplastics for the bot. I'm also installing those mods that allow for the possibility of a double chance. So that when we make these bioplastics, maybe we get 2 instead of 1. That'd be pretty nice. We have a lot more resources, so let's go with robots. Let's go with mining platforms. And this rec room is far long overdue, I will happily admit. So we have 12 steel stockpiled up and a little bit of hematite stockpiled back up. That's not so bad. My refined organics. So the bioplastics were up to almost 50. Pretty soon, deep driller, I think. Let's get rid of categories. So we have 24 hemp left. And our bioplastics going up and up and up. That's exciting. Utility floors. I think, what do these break down into? If it's... Oh, and then we have refinery floors. I'm sort of curious what resources they're going to yield. So the utility floor is just structured resin, and refinery floor is structured resin. Okay, so there's not a lot of need to break this down for its raw resources. It's just structured resin. Bioplastics at 63, 64, 62, 64. We're using some as we work. Come on, 64 out of 65? You're killing me. Is that really? Oh, and we're out of hemp. Oh my goodness. We're one away. Part of me is like, I should just break something down that requires bioplastic, but I'll be patient. We're sure to get the hemp in just a minute here. Oh, we hit another chest here. Food chest for some potatoes. Wouldn't be a bad idea to, let's destroy these walls, and that will allow us to shortcut this way. Nope, we have a little bit of a breakdown. Oh, we're so close to robot assembly. Assembly lab floors. What is this? What takes this assembly lab floor? Requires some bioplastic. So you know what I could do? I'm pretty impatient. Let's destroy some floors here. So we don't need the whole thing to be floors. In fact, even in the bedroom here. So the hallway floor has movement speed. Bedroom floors. All right, so you know what I'm going to do? I could even have the more hallways instead of bedrooms, but yeah, I'll leave it alone. We're about to get another hemp harvest. We're at 80% here. So pretty soon it'll be a moot point. That guy definitely just walked through a dirt wall to break something down on the other side. I saw that. All right, so now we have the necessary bioplastic because we just broke down some of the flooring there. And I want to get... Okay, now we're starting to... There, perfect. Constructing the deep driller. So the first thing the deep drill is going to do is to mine up a bunch of hematite because I am hematite starved. So the deep driller is going to walk around the map and exploit those hematite nodes, those hematite ground tiles, and return us much needed iron into our colony. Oh, look, a tech chest. More fasteners and electronics. That's really good. Very, very useful. And I could probably bring my bioplastics. I'm going to bring them down to 30. I'm going to try to get 30 of each. 10 cloth seems fine. Deep driller does take a while, but it's in progress. The rec room's going to be nice. We have a little bit more resources. Let's get robot recycling. Robot recycling allows you to break down your little worker robots and return them back to resources. So these little guys, if you wanted to. So if you had a lot of robots, if you had more robots than you needed, like at some point, I'm probably going to be able to exploit most of the resources on this small-sized home tile. And once I do that, it would benefit me a little bit to just recycle the robots that I have, because I won't really need them anymore. So now that I have a deep driller rolling out, I'm just going to strip mine. So as far as recreation goes, this is a place that people go to relax. So let's add in a couch and planted pot. Got to make it nice. I've had high stress, and I haven't really addressed my high stress issues yet, and that's not great. So once we get this constructed, hopefully this is a place. This will be a place for people to relax and lose some of that high stress. A nice, comfortable lounge. Let's plant some hemp, I guess, in there. A bunch of potted plants. And as you can see, as we increase the stuff that's in there, the decor will go up and people will enjoy their time in there. Deep driller 65% done. There's a ton of azurite on my home tile, but not a whole lot of other stuff. Also should be on the lookout for other colonists. I wouldn't mind adding to my population again. So the next thing I want to do is to get a map table up, which is this thing. And I want to put it right there. I know it seems like it's flat in the middle everywhere, but that's where I want it. So I'm going to break that hallway floor and add a map table. Alright, let's plant potatoes and hemp. Actually, just a whole lot of hemp. Why not? Alright, the decor in there is improving. Maybe I'll try to have it be like super nice. Surround a couch by plants. Just to try to make up for how stressing I've been. More research. So let's get geothermal power. I'd like fuelless power at some point. That'd be pretty cool. And we do know where one vent is. It's right down there. Alright, so the giant robot, the deep driller, is up and running. So here he is. He is mining out the hematite that's in the floor tiles and generating, you know, floor tile hematite for us. I'd like to be able to select him to improve him. There we are. Driller. And we're going to give him all the equipment that everyone else gets. Oh, my research station broke down. I was wondering what that was. Minerals chest. Mix of minerals there. And another robot. Activate it, and I'm going to make this another mining, hauling, building, another mining, hauling, building robot. It's possible I'll want to roll out a recycler soon because I have a lot of little robots now. And this new little robot here also should get a suite of equipment as well, at least for now. Oh, we have another robot over there too. So the driller is 1 year old. All these robots have been dormant for like hundreds of years, 300 plus. Oh, we found a cafeteria, so it's going to have a bunch of organics, so some hemp and bioplastics and potatoes. Probably 300-year-old potatoes, but somehow still fresh. There also ought to be other stasis pods that have people in them to add to my population around here. Oh, another minerals. That would have been useful a little while ago. And a tech chest. So an improved vehicle equipment engine. That's really good. Double chance craft efficiency. That's pretty good as well. And also I think it had a... Oh, Ruile. A new resource in that chest. That's unique. Or rather unknown previous to us. Unique's probably the wrong word. Alright, the floor here, I'm going to start putting in the operations floor here and here. Filling this in the hallway. Okay, let's plant a bunch more hemp. And the decor here is beautiful. See if there is... there's not exactly a discernible benefit that I see right now in terms of stress. The driller bot here, as you can see, all it does is mine. It doesn't really do anything else. It didn't probably need all the equipment I added to it. But, yeah, oh well. Luckily, as you can see, my hematite is gone way up. I am no longer suffocating for hematite. I am drowning it instead. A little bit more research. Oh, it's a recipe. What is this? What recipe did I unlock? Oh, titanium. Yeah, I'll get that. Going over to the ore refinery. Let's do craft if below. So, titanium billet. This requires rutile. And that's not something I'm going to find on the home tile, but we're going to craft if below 10. That's something you really find in quantity on the world map, which is why I am working towards getting us up there. Another food chest. I think at this point my food's probably pretty good. Actually, no, I don't have a ton of food. That's because my botanist is also the cook, splitting up the tasks like that. And now the last research I need is cloning. The rest of this is locked up. Bluefish is something that you find on the surface tile. So human cloning is not something I necessarily need unless I need to get my population back up. So that's what I can do is I can max out the... Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm powering down all of my research room. And it's going to lie dormant for now. Because I don't really have any additional research I need to do. So my researcher, let's go to him. It's going to be retasked. So he's going to become a builder and a miner instead. That works. Maybe not as sexy, but it'll do. Oh, here's another hematite node. Alright, so I think we are currently waiting on, well, we're waiting on steel. So taking a look at the steel. Steel requires iron and anthracite. How is our anthracite and iron supplies are pretty good. So what we just need is we need to refine ores, which is a engineering job. So actually, Mr. Research... Let's have you become an engineer as a secondary. And then when you don't have any other tasks, we'll just have you haul around. Gotta say, this beautiful recreation room has not really had its needed effects yet on their stress. Oh, let's give you a thinking cap. Look around, make sure that there's no... Oh, yeah, here we are. Minerals chest with some minerals. Now, it should be pretty obvious to you, but I am eventually going to exhaust the amount of resources that I can get from around here. Here's a There's a geothermal generator. This is going to require a lot of titanium, which is not something I'm going to have, so I'm actually going to break that down. I have to go to the surface to be able to obtain that amount of titanium, I think. So the operations floor for the map table is almost done. I think what I'm going to do is to start to try to spruce up their work areas so that people don't get as stressed. This means I'm going to min-max the square footage that I have of work area. And adding in as many nice potted plants and things like that as I can. I wonder if they can step over them. I don't actually know from experience. We will see. All right, so we're hooking up 2 potted plants and a wall light, and we'll see what that does for the person that's on the tech printing. The biorefinery, I'm actually going to break down. I don't think I need it anymore. A second one, that is. I'll be good with one. Leave that floor alone. Break down this too. And I might actually change the location of this storage as well. It's also sitting on top of a refinery floor. And right now I'm min-maxing it by adding just as much hallway as I can. So here we are. We could get our map table up. There's a giant map table, and we're going to route power to it. And this allows us to start mapping out the surface, which allows us to do surface exploration. And then over here, we're going to want a comm station. Same reason as the map. And the comm station allows us to start mapping out the surface as well. All right, so yeah, we can walk directly over it. So this person here, when they're working there, should have lower reported stress, hopefully. This raw storage, I'm going to move. I'm going to blow that up. That will require a lot of hauling, but I'm trying to make it nicer in their work areas. As nice as I can, focusing on stress reduction over a lot of their other priorities. And that way people make fewer mistakes. Get some lights. Make sure to power on these lights. Alright, so the map table is getting manufactured. That's great. Man, this rec room is not used often, is it? I suppose I could throw in a door here. So as you can see, there's a little decor bonus around the tech printer. And that's sort of what I'm going for, is I'm trying to make it as nice as I can right around where they work so that they aren't as stressed as they've been. But it's expensive. So here's the little map table. As you can see, I only have a teeny little section mapped out. So this is where my main facility is. Oh my goodness. All of the mining I've done, I now have no more storage container no more storage for my resources. So I'm going to add some more storage in here. In my originally my generator room. Now, I don't yet have a medibed. I've been sort of waiting on that, not for any good reason. It looks like a lot of my miners are sort of done. So let's make sure to give them some more tasks so they continue to work. Deep drill might be finished. So what I will start to do is to mine up anthracite. So this anthracite is blocking, same with this, same with that. That will allow me to expand the boundaries of my colony. Oh, and it looks like we've got someone in a stasis pod over here. Robin White. So Robin, you are going to be a engineer for now. Got a builder and a hauler. Get some more engineers going. Guess that makes you a red shirt. And Robin, I'm going to need to make you a bed. But here is all the other equipment that everybody else has been given. Let's go with an additional bed. Additionally, because of how much time people spend in their bedrooms, wouldn't be a terrible idea to try to make these bedrooms as nice as possible. So I'm going to get rid of the chair and the couch that doesn't do much for them and put in plants. Try to maximize the amount of oomph we get. I'm also going to prep another bed because it's possible that we unearth another, discover another stasis pod. Might as well prep it in time or beforehand. Oh, yeah, here's one. And Shannon Baker. You are also going to be engineering for me and backup of hauling and building. Let's break down these old pods. Which means these beds here ought to be high priority. So this plant project will require a lot of resources, but I think it's important. So let's take a look. Your stress is lowering while you work here because it's nice, presumably. It's too bad I can't add chairs to allow them to sit. Alright, so my deep driller is getting rid of the anthracite that's bordering my colony boundaries. These beds are getting made. I think they're waiting on cloth, which is a refining. Yep, there it is. Getting that refined. There's an organics chest with some hemp and bioplastic and sand and stuff like that. And another one. Oh, that has some of the cloth that I needed. It's always nice to find what you need. Alright, so someone like here, let me pause just a second. I'm going to check on their stress levels because, oh no, they're actually still pretty stressed. Man, I'm really bad at managing stress, aren't I? So what do I want? I want the power conduit. Oh, am I? Oh, that conduit's just not connected. There we go. That might work. I'd really like to get my operations scanning started. Let's put some plants in here now that these are manufactured. And as you can see, the decor of those are somewhat offsetting the ugliness of the ore refinery. Not perfectly, but we're working on it. Alright, come on, build queue. Who has a building priority here? So our scientist is now an engineer. So Robin, you're going to be a builder. And Shannon, you're going to be a builder. Shannon, you're also going to equip all of the equipment that you should have been given. And here people go to relax. So these beds are done. Robin gets one, and Shannon gets the other. We have two Shannons. Are they both Shannon Bakers? That'd be really funny. Shannon Rogers, Shannon Baker. So Shannon, the second Shannon, you are going to be Sharon Baker. Make it a little less confusing on me, rather than Shannon 1 and Shannon 2. Well, I guess I found some other hematite, but we're not hurting for it now that we have a deep driller. On a small map tile, rushing to deep driller is definitely useful. It has helped a lot. Well, there's a ton of resin projects that I have. One way to quickly supplement my resin would be to break down some old walls and flooring, because there's a lot of resin in walls and floors. So because I have a oh, come on. Really? Bust up this floor. Because I have a lot of plants and stuff that I want to manufacture, it could definitely help for me to, break the walls of previous ruined colony tiles. Oh, and here's another stasis pod with someone new in it. Before I expand to that new pod, I'm probably going to want to add some bedroom capacity, so I don't stress that one person out too badly. But this is why I didn't feel like I needed the cloner. There's a decent amount of people that you can find on the home tile. In fact, you're not necessarily even required to expand your population. If you want to keep the original 4 or whatever it is that you have, that's totally fine. That's not going to hurt you. It might slow you down a little bit, but it's not going to really penalize you beyond that. So we have a lot of raw potatoes. How much cooked? So we don't have a lot of cooked food. So my second builder, Baker, I'm going to make you the cook. And when you're not cooking, you're going to be hauling and botany. And then my botanist, when you're not doing botany, you're going to be hauling, and then you can cook it last. So Sharon Baker is going to be my cook. So let's give you nice white, like chef's hat type deal here, all in white. And here you are. Now we're gonna have a huge supply of potatoes, because I think that's all we know how to make. And when you make these, I'm gonna have you deliver them to storage, so that you're not creating more work for our haulers. Well, folks, that's about all the time I have for this episode. We have forged ahead and gotten a lot of stuff done. I think next episode I'm hoping to do some surface exploration. Now all we need to really do is power up the operations center, and we can start poking around the surface tiles, and that will be pretty interesting for you all. If you have any feedback or suggestions or questions, drop me a line in the comments. And if you are so inclined, you can always join Discord as well, where we can discuss it as a supporting the community here. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you all later. Adios.